Judge Kendra, Ms. Stacy, you purchased a brand new car in February, yet by the end of April had that very car become a source of catastrophe for you. Stacy, taking a deep breath, yes, Your Honor. That exact car, Judge Kendra, you were leaving town, and you asked someone you considered family for help to drive you to the bus station in your own car. Did you have any premonition of betrayal at that moment? Stacy, never. I trusted her completely. Judge Kendra, the plan was for her to then care for your children at your home, your two precious daughters. Pauses deliberately, but then, during your trip, you received the kind of call that haunts every parent's dreams. Stacy, voice trembling, I was told my car was destroyed. Judge Kendra, not just destroyed, Ms. Stacy. The term is totaled, crushed like a tin can, and not because the defendant was driving it. Turning her gaze slowly to the defendant, but because her boyfriend, a man who had no business with that vehicle, was behind the wheel. Tell me truthfully, had you ever even heard the name Cavante before? Stacy, shaking her head, no, never, not once. Judge Kendra, staring intently at the defendant, and your claim is, he stole it. This isn't a movie script, young lady. This is real life. And in real life, car keys don't magically teleport from a purse. Someone enabled him. The question is, who? Cliffhanger. The judge's final question plants a seed of deep suspicion. Is the defendant lying? Is there a co-conspirator in this story? Judge Kendra, let's understand precisely who Cavante is. By your own account, he was visiting from Kansas, but you don't know where. He was having dinner with you, with your cousin's children, on the very night you were solely responsible for them. Is that correct? Defendant, nervously, he was just visiting for the day. Judge Kendra, for the day, but the police report places the accident around 2 a.m. So where was he between this day visit and the dead of night, loitering in your aunt's driveway? Defendant, I told him to leave. I went upstairs to put the kids to bed. Judge Kendra, where were the keys? Defendant, in my bag. Judge Kendra, and where was your bag? In the kitchen, the living room, or perhaps dangling from the ignition fob right next to the car? Defendant goes silent, then stammers, I'm trying to remember. Judge Kendra, let's walk the timeline back. 4 p.m. he arrives. Your aunt and uncle are home, but in another room, you, him, and 2 little girls. Watching movies. Leans forward suddenly, were you drinking alcohol that night? Defendant, startled, what? No, absolutely not. Judge Kendra, then what happened that you were so oblivious to your cousin $15,000 car leaving the driveway? Were you in such a deep sleep, or did you know he was taking it and simply looked the other way? Cliffhanger. The judge's line of questioning brutally attacks the defendant's credibility. Was she impaired? Did she willfully turn a blind eye? What is the true version of that night? Stacy, standing up, Your Honor, I need to say something. When I gave her the car, I was crystal clear. Use this only for the kids, for an emergency. That was her responsibility. Judge Kendra, Miss Stacy, you left your children and your keys with a family member. Your trust was in that familial bond. To the defendant, and according to you, that very night, your boyfriend, whom your aunt and uncle barely knew, suddenly felt comfortable enough to locate the car keys and drive off without a sound. Did your aunt or uncle hear anything? A door closing, an engine starting? Defendant, they said they didn't hear anything. They were in their bedroom. Judge Kendra, how remarkably convenient. Shuffling papers, according to the police report, the car had a factory alarm system. If the keys were pulled from a bag or the door was forced, that alarm should have sounded. It didn't, which means the keys were used properly, or the alarm was deliberately disarmed. Stacy, face paling, are you saying? Judge Kendra, I'm saying this doesn't look like a frantic, opportunistic theft. This looks planned. It looks like someone knew where the keys were and how to silence the car. The kind of knowledge someone inside the house would have. Cliffhanger. The plot thickens with the alarm detail, pointing a finger at the defendant or even the aunt and uncle. This is no longer just about theft. It hints at inside knowledge and possible collusion. Judge Kendra, now the most pressing question, where is Cavante defendant? Looking down, I don't know. He blocked my number after the call. I can't find him. Judge Kendra, did you give the police his full name, address, anything? Did you tell them your boyfriend, whom you'd just had dinner with, stole the car? Defendant, I told them he took it, but he... Judge Kendra, but he... What, you didn't tell the police he was your boyfriend? Were you protecting him? Stacy, shouting, why are you protecting him? He destroyed my car. You know where he is? Defendant, no, I really don't. Judge Kendra, order. After a heavy pause, defendant, if you are telling the truth, then you are a victim as well. But if you are lying, if you know where he's hiding, or you let him go, then this case transforms from theft into fraud. The insurance company would take a very keen interest in that. Do you understand the danger you are potentially courting? Cliffhanger. The judge elevates the stakes from civil negligence to potential criminal fraud and insurance scam. The danger for the defendant intensifies dramatically. Will the pressure make her crack? Judge Kendra, surveying both parties with a penetrating look, both of you. Listen, I believe there are two truths here. The first truth is this. Ms. Stacy, you entrusted a valuable asset to someone who failed to guard it. Your trust was misplaced. It was your car, your responsibility to ensure it went into capable hands. Stacy looks down Judge Kendra II, and more compelling truth. Defendant, your story has holes. Your boyfriend's sudden unverified appearance, the silent alarm, your professed ignorance about his whereabouts. It paints a picture that is not in your favor. Defendant, what was I supposed to do? Judge Kendra, you could have willfully turned a blind eye. You refused to give him the keys, but you knew he would take them. You thought, what's the worst that could happen? And when it did, you cried theft to avoid your own liability. Voice turns cold, but in the eyes of the law, when you accept possession of someone else's valuable property, you become a beli. You have a duty of ordinary care, and I do not believe you exercised ordinary care on that night. Judge Kendra, pronouncing judgment, therefore, judgment for the plaintiff, Ms. Stacy. Defendant, you are liable. You will pay the depreciated value of her vehicle. Because you failed in the duty that was entrusted to you, you let that car fall into the hands of a man it never should have been near. Court is adjourned. Final twist. The judge's verdict is clear, but her reasoning focusing on the defendant's failure of ordinary care rather than outright calling her a thief leaves a haunting question. Does the judge believe the defendant was secretly complicit? The full truth remains just out of reach, and